My next guest, one of the most successful and controversial coaches in college basketball, coached Indiana University to 3 national championships. He talks about it in the new New York Times best-selling book right here, Knight, My Story. Please welcome Bob Knight. How are you, boss? Good to see you. There he is.
I have a compulsion every once in a while to throw a chair. And
Really?
I just kind of brought one with me.
Yeah, you're like the guy walking tall. That's your weapon now. You could be like a martial artist. You carry a chair. How you been?
I've been pretty good. How about you?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I got a joke I'd like to tell.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not about a rich guy and a poor guy.
It is about a rich guy and a poor guy.
The folks at home will never hear it, unfortunately. So how you doing? Okay?
I'm doing really good. How about you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. You know, start with some of the obvious stuff. Of course, Indiana did pretty good.
Very good.
It did very good. Very good. Of course, those are players you recruited. How'd that make you feel? Do you feel good for them?
I was really happy for those guys. Yeah. You know, I think that, you know, like I think the ultimate for you is to do what you're doing. You're already there. Don't slip. I mean, you're at the top right now. I mean, you've won this thing 10 years in a row. I mean, you got the same record that John Wooden had almost.
Well, we're doing okay.
Yeah, you're doing okay. And so, when you get a chance to play to go somewhere in the tournament, that's kind of the ultimate for a college basketball player.
Now, did you watch the game?
I don't ever watch basketball on television. I see enough of it.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, it's like I don't even know the officials till I come out on the floor. And there's enough aggravation. I don't want to be aggravated beforehand by knowing I got 2 bad officials out there.
Yeah,
so
I don't want.
My youngest son, Pat, you know, this year, when we have a little tunnel that we kind of come through to get on the floor at Tech.
Right.
And 3 times this year, before I got to the end of the tunnel and I could see the officials, Pat came up, put his arm around my shoulder. He said, "Dad, you aren't going to like what you're going to see out there."
Now, you've been at Texas Tech a little over a year.
Yeah.
Now, no technicals, right? Things have been going, no problem. Now, what is it? Is it yoga? You're doing aroma candle therapy? Are you?
No, I've read a couple of your books.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And they keep me relaxed.
Really?
When I
Is
go,
that what it is?
yeah,
Put you right to sleep, do they?
Yeah. That's what I was supposed to say. Yeah.
Yeah. But you've turned that team around in 1 year, which is pretty good.
Well, thanks. But
yeah. I mean,
thank you. We inherited a couple of really good kids. Yeah. We were fortunate enough in recruiting. They developed a heck of a chemistry. We had 8 different coaches for these kids a year ago. They played under 8 different guys, and they put their talents together, the things they could do, they couldn't do, they understood. We really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it immensely because Texas Tech's a great school in a community that I really enjoy. Yeah. And I think the community really got interested in these kids. We had a game, we played Oklahoma, and somebody came in and said, you know, there's a lineup of about 8 blocks of students waiting to get into the game. And we'd just finished our pregame meal and everything, and I had the team go out, and the team walked down the whole 8-block line, long line of kids, and came back. It was really kind of a neat thing to see college kids show their appreciation to other kids for the support they would get.
Now, have you mellowed?
No.
No?
No.
No.
Why? I mean, I've had too much fun not mellowing. I mean, I think if I mellowed, I wouldn't have any fun.
You know, it's fascinating because the press, and you probably haven't had the best relation with the press, but
not really.
No, but
it's been tenuous at times.
But see, it doesn't always show the other side. That's what I think is fascinating about the book, because I would watch, and I mean, you know, like take the chair throwing incident, which to me, when I watch, I don't follow college basketball that much, so I'm thinking, did this happen like 92, 96? When was that? And I realized, what was that, 85?
Something like that.
And yet, that piece of tape just haunts you. It just keeps coming and coming and coming, doesn't it?
You know, but I'll tell you, it was great in a way, because I was pretty careful. I mean, it wasn't something done out of control. I picked it up, I kind of slid the chair across the floor and missed everybody. And what had happened beforehand, there's a lady across the court.
Yeah.
It reminded me of my grandmother. She was about 80 years old, and I'd been up complaining a time or two about the officiating. You know, I'd get up, and then I'd sit for, and I'd get up, and I heard this lady say, Bob, Bob. You know, I was kind of curious, so I said, ma'am, what can I do for you? And she said, if you're not going to sit down tonight, throw me your chair, will you?
Really?
And I mean,
So that's, of course, of course. Well, you know what's interesting? I watched that ESPN movie. I'm going to ask you a question that probably no one else has asked you about the ESPN movie. I know you didn't see the movie, but were you bothered by the guy in the movie that played you was fatter than you?
no, because I think that
Brian Dennehy, a great actor, but he's got about, what, 30 pounds on you?
yeah, he had a little bit, but I'm telling you, when I look around this stage, where's Kevin? Kevin's the only guy in here that looks like he can play.
Thanks, Larry.
I looked to see who I was going to recruit, and Kevin's it. I mean, I got nobody else here to recruit.
Yeah, and he's the tallest one in the band. That shows you.
Just do your interview.
Yeah. Now, I did see that movie, and I thought it was interesting. Now, obviously, so you didn't watch it. You didn't want to see it.
I really wanted to go to a good movie that night, so I saw We Were Soldiers.
Well, it was a good movie.
It was good, yeah, it was really good.
But did you speak? Did anybody call you? Did you speak to Brian?
Brian Dennehy called me a couple of days afterward.
Yeah.
And I'd always really enjoyed the parts that he played, either on television or exactly on the movies. And I just said, you know, I would have really been happy if somebody would have just called me and said, hey, would you sit down with Brian Dennehy and talk to him a little bit about what we've scripted here for him and everything, because as I watched the hype of that movie, I mean, one time Brian Dennehy's talking about cookies and milk. I mean, I talk about a lot of things to players, but cookies and milk isn't one of them. And so I'm saying to myself, man, and what I told Brian was, I'd have really helped you with things that I say or don't say.
Right.
And I think the credibility of something is hurt when the people that, like, people that really know you, if they see somebody portraying you in a skit or whatever, and it's things you say, that's great. But if not, the credibility just isn't there.
The other thing I found fascinating, and I guess I knew this, but I didn't know it until I read the book, or I didn't read the whole book. I was kind of skimming through the book the last couple of days. Because again, let's get into the technical basketball. I'm more interested in the motivational part. That's what's fascinating to me, because you have this reputation, you know, with the temper and everything, yet you seem to get such tremendous loyalty from your players. And the thing that I found especially, more your guys graduate than almost any other. No drugs, no, you know, just nothing. And the guys are incredibly loyal to you. Is that something that the press seems to miss, John?
I got a great story that I kept at home. I don't keep very many things that are written, but I got one at home where a guy starts it out and he says, you know, when it comes to Coach Knight at Texas Tech, I'm tired of hearing about his players graduate. They usually win. The stands are full, and the people in town like the guy. And I look at this and I say, man, you know, that's, what the hell else is there? That's not bad.
Yeah, yeah, that's not bad at all. Did you never wanted to coach in the NBA, right? That
no, I never thought that a player should be paid more than a coach.
Yeah.
No, that never made much sense.
Well, you know what's interesting to me, because I did have an NBA coach on once, and he told me one time he had a rule, ties on the plane. It was $10,000 fine. And he said, at the beginning of the season, one player wrote him a check for like $160,000.
To take care of the year.
Yes, to take care of the year, because you didn't want to wear a tie. And you go, what do you do with that? What do you do with that? Well, it's a fascinating book, and you don't have to be a huge basketball fan. Just the motivational part of it is really terrific. You know, it's interesting to finally meet you. We've done so many jokes about you over the years.
Well, and almost all of them have been pretty good, too.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, there you go. Because, you see, you motivate me. You motivate me to write those jokes. God bless you, sir. Bob Knight, here's the book, My Story. Be right back with Linus Morissette. Hey, will you sign mine?